What's going on, guys? Talking sports, wearing shorts. Tommy here, back again after the disappointment of the Champions League final. The disappointment for me, that is, for Liverpool losing to Real Madrid. So we're back after that disappointment. So you may have seen in the title below, Liverpool season review 2022. We're going to dive right into it. We're going to talk about it all. Players, the manager, the cup runs, everything. We're going to dive into it all. So as you've seen in the title below, Liverpool season review 2022, we're going to break it all down. The highs, the lows, the cup runs, the best players, the goals, you name it. Transfer talk possibly as well. So let's get into this. So before we start, as you know, make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you are new. Hit that notification bell to keep up to date with all the latest and all the newest releases from myself when I post these damn videos. So the Liverpool season review. This is a pretty crazy one. This is a crazy year to break down, I think. This is one of the best years we've ever had. Obviously, we were so close to winning the Premier League. We were so close to winning the Champions League, but we've fallen that little bit short of winning the quadruple and actually falling short of winning a treble. So we've only come away with the domestic double, which it's funny, right? You can be spoiled in some sense because if you had asked us that at the start of the year, a lot of us probably would have been like, yeah, you know what? Well, 2 trophies and 92 points and Champions League final, that's pretty good. But ultimately, you can't help but feel disappointed because it was so close. It was so close. We were right there, right to the end, and we've just fallen a bit short. It's bittersweet. You know, it's always good to win trophies, but it's bittersweet when you come that close and you fall so short. But look, we've got to be happy and we've got to be proud of the boys because what they did this year was incredible. And what they do continuously, year in, year out, is make us believe. And to take Manchester City to the last day and really, let's be honest, take Manchester City to the last 25 minutes because for 25 minutes there, it looked like Philippe Coutinho had just won us the league title. So to take them right to the end, and then obviously the Champions League final is, well, it is what it is. I mean, we can talk about it if we want. It's Liverpool with a better side. You know what? Fuck this. I'm going to break it down right now. Let's talk about the Champions League. Let's get this out of the way right now. So the Champions League game, Champions League final. Let's break it down right now so we can move the fuck on. Liverpool with a far better side. It's one of those weird games where Liverpool with a better team. We played better. We had the better chances. We had more shots on target. Dominated the possession. Dominated everything. But we somehow lose the game. And it's just one of those crazy things that Courtois has the best game probably he's ever had in his life. And Real Madrid take their chance when they get it. And, to be honest, they weren't really that threatening all game. The defense kind of had them at bay. Benzema pretty much did nothing. Vinicius Jr., nothing. It was really, really strange. And, usually Liverpool go into Champions League finals, well, at least finals in the past, where either they're the underdogs and they've got to fight back or they've been favourites and they've kind of blown teams away. But this game was strange. It was really weird. We did everything to win that game. And, if you're looking at it just objectively and you're looking at it by the stats, then you kind of scratch your head and think, what more can you do? And it's kind of one of those games. I've seen people kind of get a little bit crazy with it and they're kind of, asking for people to be sacked and all this type of shit, people to be sold. And I don't really know if that's really true because I don't want to say it because it sounds ridiculous, but Liverpool are probably one of, if not the best team in Europe. I know they didn't win the Champions League, and I know they didn't win the Premier League, so how can you say that? But just judging by performances, this game alone, we were miles better than Real Madrid. In fact, it's very reminiscent of last year with Chelsea beating Man City. Chelsea did exactly the same as what Madrid did, just call them on the break and they scored the goal and then just defend. And, I mean, look, you can't complain. That's football. It is what it is. But it hurts and it's bittersweet because I don't think we deserve to lose that final. I really don't think we did. But, it is what it is and you've got to move on. And so we're on to the next one. And hopefully, being in Istanbul, hopefully a bit of charm, bit of magic there. Who knows? We might be back in the final again. You never know. When we lost in 2017-18, we got in the final next year. So I think the boys will be eager and they'll be hungry to win again, especially losing to Madrid twice now. Kind of leaves that real bittersweet moment. So that was the Champions League final. I want to touch on the season. I thought the season overall, we were brilliant. Again, 92 points. just another standout year. It ends up being one of those years where we drew too many games and ultimately that cost us. Obviously drawing to Spurs towards the latter end of the season is ultimately what cost us. I know you can talk about, draws halfway through the year and at the start of the year and even a couple of losses there. That Leicester City game, we lost 1-0 and Leicester had one shot on target. We had about, I think, 30. That was a game you shouldn't drop. So you can kind of look for individual results, but I don't like doing that because, Manchester City dropped points as well. So if you're going to go down that route, then it's like, well, Man City dropped points too. They should have won. So it's one of those. It was right there for the taking. Ultimately, we fell short, but I'm so proud. We at the start of the year, nobody tipped us to do anything. Nobody tipped us to be anywhere near Manchester City. Nobody tipped us. I think a lot of people I saw had us in fourth spot. Nobody tipped us for top 2, but we've made it. So, credit to the guys again. Salah, unbelievable. Mane, unbelievable. Jota, unbelievable. Luis Diaz, incredible. Signing of the year, even though he got bought in January, signing of the year. The way he's come in and just hit the ground running, unbelievable. This guy's a future star and one we've got to keep hold of. Fabinho, crazy. Thiago, brilliant. Henderson, brilliant. Naby Keita really came on this year. He played more minutes, wasn't as injured as much. Trent was Trent. Robbo was Robbo. Van Dijk was brilliant. Joel Matip, for me, had his best year in a Liverpool shirt by far. Really consistent. Didn't get injured. Consistent performances. Had a really, really good year. And then Ibrahim Konate, obviously coming in and being a rock straight up from his signing is unbelievable. Hit the ground running. Alisson, obviously a rock at the back, as we all know. A couple of standouts off the bench. Harvey Elliott, he snapped his ankle pretty early, but he came back. He's a real talented youngster. Joe Gomez didn't play too much. James Milner's still going. And then unfortunately, you got to look at the likes of Oxlade-Chamberlain. Divock Origi, we know, is going to AC Milan, but I would suggest that maybe Oxlade-Chamberlain's probably going to move on. He just doesn't look like he's getting regular minutes anymore. So there's probably a few names going out, which is the next thing I want to touch on, the transfer talk. So I want to talk about some incoming, and I want to talk about some players that are potentially going to leave. And I've seen some big links, and I think you all know what I'm referring to with that one. It's the Sadio Mane. But we're going to break this down. So let's talk about the transfers. So first off, I want to talk about the outgoings. So the outgoings, I'm thinking, is probably going to be the likes of Oxlade-Chamberlain. I think, like I said, he's probably played maybe his last game of Liverpool shirt. He's just not getting regular minutes anymore. And that's no fault of his own. It's just one of those things where the team's evolved a little bit and he kind of can't find his regular form anymore. He's not a bad player. He'll still be a good player for a side, fighting for, Europa League or maybe even higher. Maybe even go back to Arsenal. Who knows? But he's a decent player, but it's just not worked out for him anymore at Liverpool, and I think maybe he will look to try and move on. I wouldn't be too upset with that. I think he's been a good servant. Obviously, the injuries have just hampered him a little bit, and he just couldn't get back into the side. It's just one of those things. Divock, we know, is leaving, but the biggest talking point, and I made a video on this months ago, and I'll leave a link to it right up here. Sadio Mane potentially leaving. Now, nothing has been confirmed, but we're hearing from pretty reliable sources, I must say, reliable sources, that Sadio Mane has played his last game in a Liverpool shirt and he'll be heading to Bayern Munich. That is what the word on the street is. The word on the street is that Sadio is heading to Bayern. If he goes, look, this will be really, really sad. Very, very sad. Sadio's been unbelievably good for Liverpool. Like, obviously we know how good Mo's been, but Sadio's consistent. He's been there all the time. He was the first major signing under Klopp. He's been involved in everything. And without Sadio Mane, Liverpool are not where they are. He is, that front three, Firmino, Mane and Salah, was so good in their prime. I'm talking 2017 to probably 2020. That 3 to 4 year period there, they were unbelievable. Obviously we know Firmino's kind of having a different role now. He's not so much of a goal scorer. But Mane, especially when he's gone down to the centre forward, has just revolutionised his career, revolutionised his game. And it will be really sad if he goes. I've got a gut feeling that he will go. I think the talks around Salah this year and all about Salah maybe has upset Mane, and he's thinking, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to move on, and maybe it's time for me to just test some other areas of the world and try to maybe win a league title somewhere else. And look, he's given us everything. He literally has given us everything. I cannot be mad at the man. He's a Liverpool legend. I'll be upset if he goes. But sometimes these things just happen. There's not much you can do about it. So it is what it is. Hopefully Liverpool can keep him. I would love to, but if they don't, then they're going to have to reinvest and get somebody else. And that's the next thing I want to touch on is who will replace Mane if he leaves. So we're just going to talk about a couple of names I think Liverpool might get this year. I think there's a real strong link between Tchouaméni from Monaco. I've seen lots of strong links for Liverpool being interested in him. Now, they may be interested in him. I think that might be true. Whether or not they end up getting him, that remains to be seen. Obviously, anything with Real Madrid lurking around the corner is going to be hard to get someone, and obviously other big teams in Europe are going to want him, Man United, stuff like that. But I would love to get him another engine-type player in the center of the park. We need that. Obviously Milner's getting older. And I think with the rotation of Jordan Henderson and Naby Keita, I think that would be a good signing. So I really hope Liverpool are actually in for him, and we will pull out the checkbook, so to speak, to get him. The other one I want to touch on. Now, there's a couple of wingers you could go for. If Mane's going to go, you're going to need another winger, another striker that can play across that front three and is a goal scorer. Now, that's very hard to find in world football. Everybody's trying to find that nowadays. But Christian Nkunku from Leipzig, he's obviously a massive target. We know the amount of goals he scored this year, 23 years old. Every top team in Europe is going to want him. But I also think another person that could be right on Liverpool's radar, and I actually don't think this is a bad signing. His injury record's pretty shit, but it could work out, and that's Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. Just bear with me. I know a lot of people are thinking here, you're thinking you're crazy. You're not going to make that guy. He's never going to play more than 15 games or whatever. But I just think his age, 23, 24, with Klopp again, I don't know. I can see good things coming out of that. And that could be a great replacement for Mane, because obviously we know we got Luis Diaz, Mohamed Salah, Diego Jota, and Roberto Firmino. You're going to need somebody else. I don't want Luis Diaz to be the direct replacement for Mane, because if he is, that's too much pressure, and it's not going to be a like for like. It's never going to be that. Luis Diaz is not Mane, and it won't be fair on him, because all the expectations will be on Luis Diaz, and I don't think that's fair. It shouldn't happen like that. So those are just a few incoming and outgoing transfers I think might happen. Let me know what you guys think. Comments below. Who do you think Liverpool will sign? Who do you think is going to leave? I'd really like to know what you guys think. And if you got some tips, if you got some names of who you think Liverpool should buy, let me know in the comments below. Sometimes I can't think of everybody out there, but I will be interested to think who you guys think Liverpool should buy in the next season. So just before we go, I just want to recap. I just want to have a little chat about the expectations for next year, my predictions for Liverpool next year, and where I think they're going to end up. So I think next year, Liverpool, after winning the FA Cup and the League Cup, are going to go, thank you. That was good. We did our run this year. We went for it. We got the FA Cup and the League Cup. Nobody talked about that before. We've actually won those trophies now. So everybody can get off our back, because people were giving us the shits saying, oh, you don't take the competition seriously. We've done it now. So we've got that. We can push that to the back. I think Liverpool are going to go full bull for the Champions League and the Premier League. I really do. And they always do. Let's be honest. They did this year, and they do in previous years. But I just think that this year, or this coming year, 2022-23, I think they're going to go, right, League Cup, FA Cup, bin them. We've done them. We don't need them anymore. We want that Champions League. We want revenge, and we want to go hard for this Premiership title. It's going to be super hard to try beat Man City when they have Erling Haaland and Julian Alvarez. They've added 2 new strikers that are probably upgrades on what they got, so it's going to be almost impossible to beat them. But Klopp's going to give it a red-hot crack, and I reckon he's going to go full bull in those 2 comps. I don't know if we'll win the league title. It's always hard to beat Manchester City. It is. But I think we can get to the final of Europe again. I really do. We're a great knockout side. We have the players to do it. I think we can do it. I think we might see a back-to-back, just like we did in 2017-18 and then 18-19. I think we can do it. We need the right signings, because our team is aging. We've been around for a while. So there's some movement that needs to happen, but I think we can do it, guys. What do you guys reckon? Let me know. Comments below. Where will Liverpool finish next year? Are they going to beat Manchester City? I don't see it. Are they going to win the Champions League? That's possible. I don't know. I think we might make the final, and I think we'll probably finish second again in the league. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we can win it. But with them adding Erling Haaland, I mean, what do you do? So anyway, guys, that about recaps the Liverpool 2022 season review. been a wild year. It's been a crazy year. It's been a great year. Look, 2 domestic cups. Like I said, you can't be too mad. It's just a bit sad that we didn't make it all the way for the quadruple. It was a dream that crumbled right in front of our eyes. There's a reason why it's usually impossible and nobody's done it before, because it's fucking hard. But anyway, as always, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you are new. Follow all the socials, the Spotify. Links will be in the description below. And as usual, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.